NKTelco Sports welcomes you to Ohio Northern University. Today's matchup, JCU Blue Streaks versus the ONU Polar Bears.
This game brought to you by Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan, J&R Auto, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Buckeye Ford, Stolly Insurance, NKTelco, First National Bank, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram.
This is an NKTelco Sports production.
Good afternoon and welcome to Ohio Northern University for today's men's basketball matchup between the Polar Bears of ONU and the Blue Streaks of John Carroll. I'm Kyler Ludlow alongside Ron Cruz. We've got an exciting game in store this afternoon, Ron. A little bit snowy outside, but two pretty hot teams inside.
Right. We're expecting a pretty high scoring game here. John Carroll gets up and down the floor. They're averaging 89 points a game, and ONU comes in at 78 points a game, and ONU still learning their new offense. They're putting it in and getting used to it, so today should be a very exciting matchup.
Both teams come in with records of 3-4 overall and 2-1 in the Ohio Athletic Conference. John Carroll coming off a big win over number 3 ranked Marietta on Saturday, and Ohio Northern coming off a loss in the OAC to Mount Union. So we'll see if the Polar Bears can bounce back this afternoon as we get ready to go here on NKTelco.
Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan. Come in and enjoy the ultimate hibachi grill experience as our expert chefs prepare your dinner in front of you with style and flair. Enjoy our fresh selection of sushi, sashimi, and other succulent dishes. At Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan, we have a dish to satisfy any craving. Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan. Great food, great atmosphere, great experience. Located on Harding Highway across from the Holiday Inn. Come in, we're waiting for you.
At Four Seasons Drive-Thru, we offer weekly specials that are sure to satisfy all appetites. Monday through Thursday, come in to enjoy our daily lunch specials. Friday is our Get It Till It's Gone fish special. Friday and Saturday, grab a 16-inch 3-item pizza, 10 wings, and a 2-liter for just $20. Sunday, we also have a 3-piece chicken for $5 and a 16-piece for $20. Four Seasons Drive-Thru, great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Want more trucks for less bucks? Buckeye Ford is your truck headquarters. Work or play, we have the truck for you. F-150s, F-250s, F-350s, and F-450s. We know trucks, and you'll always get top dollar for your trade. Get the truck you need today for less bucks at Buckeye Ford and shop over 200 new Fords and tons of pre-owned cars and trucks 24/7 at BuckeyeFord.com. Remember, you'll find more trucks for less bucks at BuckeyeFord.com. More trucks, less bucks. BuckeyeFord.com.
J&R Auto Repair Service is a full-service preventative maintenance and automotive repair center. Family-owned and operated, we perform high-quality, guaranteed service you can trust at a fair price. Trust J&R for all your automotive service needs.
Welcome to Ohio Northern University, where the John Carroll Blue Streaks and the Polar Bears of ONU are just moments away from tipping off. During our starting lineups, why don't we take a look at our keys of the game first for the visiting John Carroll Blue Streaks.
Okay, for the John Carroll Blue Streaks, the first key is the road woes. They're looking for their first road win of the season today. They're 0-2 on the road so far. Number 2, up-tempo game. They average 89.1 points a game, so I'm not sure we're going to need a shot clock today. For ONU, the first key is transition D. They must get back on defense to slow the John Carroll offense down. And number 2, they need to win a rebound game. ONU averages 35 rebounds a game, where John Carroll averages 41, so that's a must for the Polar Bears today.
Well, both teams being introduced here at ONU. We'll give you the starting lineups. First for the John Carroll Blue Streaks at guard, a 6'4" senior Tim Ludlow. Another guard, a junior Brian Papich. Senior guard David Lenane Jr. And then in the backcourt, Simon Kucharowicz is a senior 6'7" forward, and Ryan Berger, a freshman from Medina, is going to round out the starters. For Ohio Northern, Joey Hurlis is a starting senior point guard from Van Wert. Devin Allen, another senior guard from Lima. Connor Baker, a guard from right here in Ada. Ryan Bruns, the center from Chickasaw and Marion local fame. And then forward, Travis Fitzhands, who is the junior from Arcanum and Franklin Monroe High School. Moments away from getting this game underway. Mentioned before, Ohio Northern coming off a loss, an 8-point loss on the road at Mount Union. Mount Union is one of a handful of teams, along with ONU and John Carroll, who are tied atop the OAC standings at 2-1 on the season. Tip is won by John Carroll. We're underway here at Ohio Northern University.
Ohio Northern starts out in their normal man-to-man defense.
Quick move into the post. No play there, and we'll reset. 15 on the shot clock for the Blue Streaks. The dribble handoff, shot on the wing, up and nothing but net. Lenane Jr. knocks down the triple to give John Carroll a 3-0 lead.
As a team, John Carroll comes in the game averaging 36% from the three-point line, so they're off to a good start there.
Pressure from John Carroll in the backcourt as ONU crosses the timeline. 15 on the shot clock. Three ball up. It's off the front iron, no good. Away with it, John Carroll. They're trying to push it up. As we mentioned in the pregame, Ohio Northern's transition defense going to be very important here today.
A good one-on-one battle down there between Bruns and Kasarowitz.
Shot went up by Berger. It was off the iron, no good. Polar Bears coming the other way. Ball in the hands of Allen, swung around, looking underneath. Baker tries to make one move, spins another. No one there, turns it over, trying to find Fitzhands on the wing. It goes out of bounds. Turnover, gives the ball back to John Carroll.
Yeah, he was expecting to go to the corner, and he did not break, so he threw it out of bounds.
John Carroll still ahead 3-0 early on in this contest between two OAC teams. Ball on the right wing, spun into the hands, and the shot goes up off the iron, no good. Rebound down to Fitzhands. Polar Bears pushing it the other way. The pull-up jumper off the iron, no good. And the track meet is on.
Yeah, the Polar Bears come out a little cold to start the ball game.
Kucharowicz, hands off. Now the drive in with the left hand, off the iron and down good. Papich.
Nice drive there by Paprich.
Pressure from John Carroll. The Polar Bears able to break it across the timeline. Hurlis driving towards the baseline, gives it up. We'll get it right back. No, the handoff, fake handoff, dribble drive, and Fitzhands fouled. He will shoot two.
Ball comes over in the crowd, and they didn't catch it, but the lady lost her watch right out on the floor. A little help from the referee to get that back. We're in business.
First free throw off the iron, no good. David Lenane Jr. whistled for the foul.
Matter of fact, that's Fitzhand's mom that almost caught that ball over here.
Second one off the iron, no good, but the Polar Bears get the board. Ball worked underneath, and it's a turnover for Ohio Northern, but John Carroll trying to get the fast break started and going, turns it right back to ONU, and the Polar Bears have the ball, still trailing 5-0 early on.
You can see about everything John Carroll does is to get that ball out and go, with a full court press, trying to pick the tempo up as much as possible and force the other team into a quick shot.
The 3 ball up off the iron, no good. Rebound battled for, and that's going to be called on the Polar Bears. Looks like Ryan Bruns whistled for the infraction. First foul of the game for the Polar Bears. Lenane Jr. brings it up for John Carroll, looking to work the ball inside. It's in the hands of Kacharowicz. The spin move baseline off the glass and good, 7-0.
Yeah, real nice drop step there by Kacharowicz. That's going to be a battle all day long between him and Bruns.
Going coast to coast, breaking the pressure, finding an open teammate. It's Allen who knocks down the triple, and ONU gets on the scoreboard with the 3 ball.
Well, he needed that one right away this early in the ball game.
Quick pull-up 3 off the iron around and drops down. David Lenane Jr., the senior guard.
Not supposed to get that on the road.
Now a quick pull-up the other way, and it's good for Devin Allen. So Devin Allen with a couple of 3 balls almost forces the turnover on the other side. We're going to get a line change for John Carroll.
Devin Allen, he comes into the ball game averaging 13 points a game. And already he has 6 for the Polar Bears.
The Blue Streaks with a new offense in, get a quick shot. The rebound down to Connor Baker, and fights off a couple of defenders. Now coming the other way. Shot fake, dribble drive in. Finding the open man on the extra pass and knocking it down is Connor Baker.
Nice wide open shot, nice soft shot.
The Polar Bears have brought it to within 1, but then coming right back the other way, knocking down a 3 ball.
They don't waste any time, and that's the whole idea of a whole new 4 or 5 guys coming in, trying to tire out the opponent.
Caputo fouled Fitzhands, who will go to the line for the second time today. He was 0 for his first 2. He's now 0 for 3 as that one's off the front iron, no good. Second toss up off the iron, also no good. Rebound battled for, and the Blue Streaks come away with it.
A little unusual. The Polar Bears come in at 75% from the foul line. Missed 2 in a row.
But now we get an offensive foul call. John Cirillo whistled for that illegal screen at the top of the key, and the ball goes back into the hands of the Polar Bears.
So they pick him up man-to-man, full court.
Devin Allen controls the ball for the Polar Bears. Trying to run the offense here for the Polar Bears. We talked with head coach Rich Bensman, who's in his first season here at ONU as the head coach. He's been here for 5 years total now. The shot clock winds down. Kick out, the shot up by Baker, off the iron, no good. And the rebound brought down by Bedard. He takes it all the way himself, puts up the layup. He gets fouled and the bucket. And a big chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Yeah, Hurlis thought he was going to take the charge there, and as he went up, you could see him move over just to his left. Not only got the foul, but John Carroll gets the bucket.
First, the only free throw, up and good. No substitution. First time we've seen some new blood in for Ohio Northern. Aaron Thress into the game, the 6'7" senior.
Bruns gets a rest.
Well, we get a quick chance to see Thress lay it in on the other side. 16-11 now our score.
Yeah. And that's the best thing to do against that press, is to score against it. But boy, John Carroll, they just come back and one pass and boom, it's up.
Shuran knocks down another triple. He's got 6 points. Layup thrown up and in by Connor Baker, doing a good job of keeping through the contact to knock down the bucket. Quickly back the other way, and foul going to be whistled on Fitzhands, and that's his first.
Yeah, he got caught on the wrong side there and kind of swatted down at the basketball. A lot of times when you swat down, you're going to get the call against you.
We've got the line change again for John Carroll. Back to the starting 5. Ball in the hands of Ryan Berger, looking inside. Backing down, Kacharowicz, the 3 ball out and good by Berger. He knocks it down. It's a 22-13 game now. The 2-2-1 full court pressure from John Carroll. It's the ball in the hands of the Polar Bears, crossing the timeline with 22 seconds on the shot clock.
Now it looks like Thrust might have the mismatch inside, but they're on the wrong side of the floor to get it to him.
Quick crossover, 3 ball up and no good for Nate Berger. Coming back the other way is John Carroll, and ball slapped out of bounds, but a foul first as Tim Ludlow will head to the free throw line.
That's already 2 fouls on layups.
And that leads us to our first media timeout of the game. John Carroll holds a 9-point advantage here early in the first half. You're watching NKTelco Sports.
As a father of 2 teenage daughters and husband to a lovely wife, thanks, hun, it is important for me to look out for myself and my family. Fiber is one of the most important things in my day. Fiber keeps me healthy, sane, and stress-free. NKTelco Fiber, fast and reliable, keeping our household sane by keeping their devices connected.
NKTelco, providing services that bring value to your everyday life.
Back at Ohio Northern, John Carroll holds a 22-13 lead over Ohio Northern. John Carroll's had their way over ONU the past couple of seasons. Last year against the Polar Bears, they won both at home and here at ONU by scores of 86-68 and 84-73. Early on, it's been a track meet, Ron, and that's exactly playing into what John Carroll wants to do and away from what, when we talked with Coach Bensman, what he was saying the Polar Bears want.
Yeah, the Polar Bears, they wanted to control the tempo of the game, obviously, because John Carroll comes in the game averaging 89 points a game, and, you know, you got 2 choices: either try to outscore him at that point, or you need to slow the game down a little bit and run your offense and get the best shot you can, and that way you're controlling the tempo and not them. But right now, so far in the first half, it's John Carroll controlling the tempo. They just get the ball out, and, you know, they don't really rely on steals off their press. They use it to make Ohio Northern shoot quick shots that they don't normally shoot, maybe, and they get the rebound and away they go.
Tim Ludlow makes both of the free throws out of the media timeout for John Carroll. It's now 24-13. Polar Bears pushing the ball across with that 2-2-1 defense in their face. John Carroll drops back into a man-to-man. Ball in the hand of Nate Berger. Drives with the left, finds a teammate open on the right side. Shot fake, drive in, shot up, no good. Out of the hands of Devin Allen.
And there he had a good shot, but they don't get back in time. There's the big guy slamming it home.
26-13 now after the slam dunk.
A nice job of running the floor there by Kacharowicz.
Ball to the top of the key, looking to work it inside. Passed off to the left wing. Now the Polar Bears restart with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Berger passes, gets it right back, thinks about a shot, drives in with the left, puts it up with the right, off the backboard and down for the bucket.
All right, good job by Berger. Didn't panic out there. The shot clock was going down, and he drove the ball to the bucket.
Quick pull-up 3 is good for Lenane Jr. He's got 9 points now, all three on three-point shots.
3 on 3.
Ohio Northern trying to come back the other way, and a brilliant block by John Carroll's Kacharowicz, and now the Blue Streaks coming back. 3-ball in transitions, off the iron, no good. Rebound brought down by Connor Baker. Trying to work the ball inside. A bit of a mismatch. Nate Berger being guarded by the post player, Simon Kacharowicz. John Carroll gets the switch, 7 seconds on the shot clock. The pull-up from way downtown's off the front iron, no good, but the offensive board for Ohio Northern. First attempt missed, another offensive board, make it another. And before Connor Baker can get that shot up again, he is fouled, will go to the line to shoot 2.
Fitzhands that time did a real nice job of keeping that ball alive with the first rebound, and then Baker cleaned it up, drew the foul.
The foul called on Brian Papich. Baker with 2 tosses makes the first one as it rattles down and in.
You get off to a real good start there and been quiet here for the last 6 minutes or so.
We see Joey DiOrio and Alex Sabilla enter the game for Ohio Northern. It's the second free throw, goes front iron and down. 12-point game now, John Carroll on top 29-17. Blue Streak working the ball around, the 3-ball up. Off the iron, no good. Rebound battled for, brought down by ONU. Polar Bears pushing it the other way. Into the middle of the paint, and a charge going to be called as Alex Sabilla came into the paint and came in a little too out of control for the officials' liking. The offensive player control foul gives John Carroll control.
Yeah, that was a tough call there. That could have gone either way the way it looked from here, but he had a better angle than we did, so we'll have to trust that he's right.
John Carroll coming back the other way, holding that 12-point lead. It's stayed about there once it's gotten to that point. Looking to work it inside. It's poked away. Nicely done by Aaron Thress.
Thress has done a pretty nice job down there defensively on Kacharowicz.
Takes a move into the paint. Beautiful pass and finds Connor Baker open underneath. Baker's got 9. It's a 29-19 game.
Now that's what the Polar Bears want right there. Now they got to do some defense down there.
The shot went up, it hit the iron and was no good. And the foul whistled. John Carroll will go their wholesale substitution again as that foul whistled on Connor Baker of ONU, his first of the game, and Connor takes a seat. Ball inbounded into the corner. Trying to find anyone. It rests in the hands of Noah Badar. John Carroll with that motion driving offense. Trying to get that quick shot, the spin move into the paint, but the travel before the foul there gives the ball back to ONU, trailing 29-19.
That's probably the most passes they've had in one possession so far in this game.
Ball inbounded to Hurlis. He brings it up the court for ONU. Berger with it in his hands, drive with the left hand. Nothing going there. They swing it around the outside. Ball into the corner.
It's not where you want it in the corner. You keep it out front against these guys.
The offensive foul called, so the second foul on Alex Sibila, and we'll see a substitution. He takes a seat, and Travis Fitzhands comes back in. Ball poked out of bounds. Joey DiOrio
he reached around. Normally that's a foul, but they let that go. But he did get the ball cleanly and knock it out of bounds.
John Carroll in control of the basketball. Blue Streaks trying to get something going on that left side, working it in, but it's stolen away. Aaron Thress continuing to play very well here in the first half. He gets the ball underneath, a little body foul, and it's going to be whistled on John Carrillo.
Yeah, Thress, he's come off the bench to give him some pretty good minutes here while Bruns is sitting on the bench.
Ball inbounded, Fitzhands with the left hand. Gets the ball up and down for Nate Berger. The junior didn't hesitate after getting that ball. Fired up the three. It's a 29-22 ball game. Quick shot the other way, off the iron, no good. Rebound battled for. John Carroll comes down with it. Quick three ball is good. And Matthew Sheeran able to knock it down. He's got 9 points now. Pushes the lead back out to 10.
Right, as we said, they come into the game 36% from the three-point line, but I think they're well beyond that right now.
Ball inbounded into the hands of Joey Hurlis. He'll bring it up for ONU. Hesitation, goes up with it. He gets fouled, can't get the basket to fall, but does a good job of working his way through that pressure. Getting the foul drawn and heading to the free throw line. Trying to cut the lead back to single digits. The lefty shot up and good. It's a 32-23 game now. The Van Wert native knocks down the second toss, and it's back to an 8-point game. He almost came away with the steal on the inbounds pass for John Carroll.
This unit seems to run the weave for John Carroll. Trying to get the shot off of that.
Scoop shot up and no good. Offensive rebound and put back attempt. Shot's no good, but a foul drawn. The 8th team foul on Ohio Northern, and 2 shots coming as that one's whistled on Nate Berger.
Yeah, they kind of set you up for the three. You start guarding the three, and then they start driving, and Ohio Northern commits the foul just about every time they drive to the bucket.
First free throw for Shuren, no good. Austin Allemeyer into the game for the first time for ONU, the freshman from Elida High School. The second toss falls in, 33-24 our score. Back into that 2-2-1 full court. ONU moves it across with a second to spare on that 10-second backcourt clock. Trying to work the ball inside. Left-hand dribble, now swung around the outside. 3 ball up and good for Nate Berger, continuing to knock down some big shots. He's got 8 points now in the game.
Nice looking shot there by Berger. That's what they need right there. Hit some threes to counteract John Carroll's. They got it down to 6 points now.
And a hand check as Austin Allemeyer tried to stop Matthew Shuren from driving in, and we'll see that substitution pattern continue for John Carroll.
And just as ONU cuts into the lead, then the substitution is made with the starters again.
It's a 1-and-1 attempt here for John Carroll. Tosses up and good. Seven-point advantage for the Blue Streaks. Came into the season ranked number 11 in Division III, went 0-2 in the opening weekend. So we see Ryan Berger return to the contest. Lost at Mount St. Joe's and then lost to Hanover. They went from number 11 to receiving votes, then lost again against number 15 Hope College and fell out of the top 25 completely. But in the past week, they've beat Marietta, who was number 3 in the country, and now hold an 8-point lead over Ohio Northern. with the ball in the hands of Joey Hurlis. Working it down low. Pass goes off the hands of Travis Fitzhands and then rolls out of bounds after it went off the backboard and hit a John Carroll Blue Streak player in the foot.
Yeah, it went right off Papich's foot. So the Polar Bears get a break there.
Ball lobbed into the hands of Allemeyer. Now Polar Bears coming back, working at baseline, and Joey Hurlis stepped out of bounds before he made that pass, so a turnover on ONU.
That's probably the worst place you can step out of bounds is right in front of the official.
Fake handoff for the Blue Streaks, but they go right into that driving motion offense.
Looked like a little push off there offensively. Wasn't called.
Drive in and kick out. 13 on the shot clock. Backdoor cut, a beauty, but it's broken up by ONU on the other side.
They got numbers.
Hurlis trying his luck is swatted out of bounds.
Papich, I think, went up and got that one.
ONU will get the ball right in the corner. Hurlis, the trigger man. Now the Bears ready to go. Hurlis looking inside, asking for a screen. Fitzhands with a good one, roll to the basket, good find. Couldn't quite get the free throw, or the layup to fall down.
Just got up there on the rim and fell off, but nice effort there, nice play, nice roll, nice pass. Just have to finish it.
Fitzhands has been to the line quite a few times today. He makes his first free throw of the day. As you see the good contact underneath, but man, just could not get it to fall. He makes the first free throw. Second one off the front iron and no good. Kacharowicz gets the rebound. John Carroll coming back the other way, but a travel whistled. And Tim Ludlow looked like he couldn't really believe it there, but shuffled his feet before he started his drive.
A lot of times they don't even have time to travel. They throw it up so quick. But that time he got caught shuffling the puppies there.
ONU starts the offense on the right side of the floor. Quick crossover, scoop shot up high off the glass and down. Beautiful for Nate Berger.
He had to get that up awfully high because Kacharowicz was right there.
And now just a 5-point game. Kacharowicz tosses out the drive into the paint, off the iron, no good. Rebound battled for, and a travel called. Kacharowicz didn't look like he had possession of the ball, but he's whistled for the travel. The turnover makes it a 35-30 game. We hit our media timeout, so we'll take a break. ONU trailing by 5 here with 6 minutes and 31 seconds left in the first half.
At Four Seasons Drive-Thru, we offer weekly specials that are sure to satisfy all appetites. Monday through Thursday, come in to enjoy our daily lunch specials. Friday is our Get It Till It's Gone fish special. Friday and Saturday, grab a 16-inch 3-item pizza, 10 wings, and a 2-liter for just $20. Sunday, we also have a 3-piece chicken for $5 and a 16-piece for $20. Four Seasons Drive-Thru, great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Want more trucks for less bucks? Buckeye Ford is your truck headquarters. Work or play, we have the truck for you. F-150s, F-250s, F-350s, and F-450s. We know trucks, and you'll always get top dollar for your trade. Get the truck you need today for less bucks at Buckeye Ford and shop over 200 new Fords and tons of pre-owned cars and trucks 24/7 at BuckeyeFord.com. Remember, you'll find more trucks for less bucks at BuckeyeFord.com. More trucks, less bucks. BuckeyeFord.com.
J&R Auto Repair Service is a full-service preventative maintenance and automotive repair center. Family-owned and operated, we perform high-quality, guaranteed service you can trust at a fair price. Trust J&R for all your automotive service needs.
Welcome back to Ohio Northern University, where the John Carroll Blue Streaks currently lead the Polar Bears of ONU by a 35-30 score. It's ONU ball coming out of the timeout, but we'd like to take this chance to thank some of our sponsors for today: Stoli Insurance, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan, J&R Auto Repair Service, and Buckeye Ford. course, our scoreboard sponsor, as always, First National Bank. Think first. And we had our keys to the game early on, Ron, that were brought to you by Bud Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Salina, where the dealer makes the difference.
Yeah, well, we're going to see if Ohio Northern can close out this half here on a good note. They got it down to 5 points. Now they got possession of the basketball, a chance to get it down to 3 or 2 possibly.
See if John Carroll looks like they've added a bit of a trap on this 2-2-1, but Ohio Northern breaks it, drive in, swatted off the backboard, but it's brought down by Austin Allemeyer, and the shot clock reset there, but the clean block by Kacharowicz meant the ball never actually touched the rim, so play stops. We've got 19 on the shot clock after the restart. Drive in, the left-hand scoop shot, good for Fitzhands.
Nice drive there by Fitzhands.
Now a 3-point ball game. John Carroll holding on to the lead. The drive in, the pass in to Kacharowicz is pretty on that pick and roll. He'll get a chance for a couple free throws.
And here comes the next unit in again. So we'll see. Ohio Northern actually gained ground on this unit. And Bruns is checking into the game also. He's been on the bench for a while.
Kacharowicz banks in the free throw. That is the second foul on Travis Fitzhands, so he will take a seat.
This will be interesting because we got Bruns and Thress in the game at the same time. So somebody should have a mismatch down there. Kacharowicz will have one of them, and whoever is the other one should have a mismatch down low.
As the Polar Bears trying to push the ball forward, Hurless's throw goes off the hands of Bruns and out of bounds.
And Kacharowicz goes out of the game. So the advantage underneath now should go to Ohio Northern.
John Carroll whips the ball around the outside, holding a 4-point lead. Pump fake and a turnover. Coming back. Hurless going up with the left hand, lost control of it, and the ball brought down by John Carroll, but as the Blue Streaks, John Carrillo was trying to move the ball forward. He lost his balance and went out of bounds off of him. So ONU will retain possession.
Yeah, once again, Thress knocked that ball off the offensive guy's thigh. So he's having quite a game here the first half.
3-point jumper up off the iron, and it hits one of the wires that hangs down, so it goes out of bounds. Almeyer's shot was online. It just hit that iron perfectly, bounced straight up and goes out of bounds. So John Carroll gets the ball back.
Big possession here by the Polar Bears.
Foul whistled, and we will see another couple of free throws for John Carroll.
Blue Streaks do a nice job when they drive to the basket. They either score or get fouled, and most times here in the first half, they're getting fouled going to the basket.
Is the second foul on Austin Allemeyer. The free throw up and good. Matthew Suhran has got 13 points. He is leading this second unit of the Blue Streaks. Second free throw rattles home, pushing the lead back out to 6. We see Devin Allen return to the game for ONU. Ball triggered in by Allemeyer into the hands of Allen. Trying to break the pressure. 22 on the shot clock as they cross midcourt.
So far, the Polar Bears have done a nice job breaking the press.
A lot of fighting underneath, and an offensive foul going to be whistled on Ryan Bruns.
Jostling for position down there, and Bruns get called for the foul. I'm not sure what all went on down there, but in the official's eye, it was a foul on Bruns.
6-point lead for John Carroll. Left-hand drive, shot up, off the iron, no good. And now I think we're getting John Carroll coming back the other way with a similar foul for Doug Caputo.
That time, Bruins got the better end of that one. He went up and got shoved on his way up.
And since it was an off-ball foul, it will mean a 1-and-1 opportunity for the 6'8" sophomore. And the toss falls down, so it's a 38-33 game now with just under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Second toss up and good. We get a quick sub for the Polar Bears as Bruns takes a seat, and coming in, Fitzhands comes back in.
Yeah, Bruns came into the game averaging 70% from the line.
Drive with the left hand into the corner, shot fake, losing the dribble momentarily. Now John Carroll turns it over. A great read by Berger. He goes with the left hand, blocked off the backboard. Wow, what a hustle play by Vakenchik. Now coming back the other way, and Bedard goes coast to coast, knocks down the layup, and big swing there. The 3-ball, though, falls down for Berger. Nate Berger's got 13 now in the game. And a travel whistled.
Yeah.
So a pretty big swing there as John Carroll quickly pulled the counter strike after the block off the backboard, but Nate Berger knocks down the triple, makes it a 3-point game. We see the full sail changes for John Carroll as Connor Baker.
One big difference in the game, Kyler, is the fact that ONU's had quite a few layups and they've been blocked from people from behind, whereas John Carroll, when they go in for a layup, they get fouled.
Well, that foul way away from the basket as Devin Allen went into the chest of his defender, David Linane. So that is Linane's second foul.
It's getting a little chippy now.
Allen's toss is good. It's back to a 2-point game, 40-38. And it's a 1-point game, 40-39 with 4:10 remaining in the first half. John Carroll on the left side, quick pull-up jumper is off the iron, no good. Polar Bears with the rebound. It's Devin Allen.
Earlier in the game, that ball was going in, and now they're having a little harder time finding the hole.
Fitzhands with the drive, gets it back. The 3-ball up for ONU, off the iron, no good. John Carroll
off to the races.
Linane leading the fast break. The layup on the other side for Papich is good. 42-39 now. ONU crosses the timeline. Trap coming, the 3-ball, nothing but net.
You don't want to leave him open at the top of the key. He's going to burn you.
Nate Berger with 16 in the game now has tied the game. Dribble drive, left-hand scoop is good for Linane. And he did it all himself there, just slicing the defense apart. Gives JCU the lead right back.
Yeah, ONU's got to do a better job here in the second half of protecting the basket.
Berger with the ball in his hands, gets a screen, drives to the right side, looking inside, nothing there. Skip pass, Fitzhands in the paint with a beautiful feed. And the travel whistled as Aaron Thress tried to back his way into better position and ended up taking a little bit of a hop.
Yeah, got fouled traveled before he got fouled.
2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. On the drive, the layup up and knocked down perfectly.
Nice soft shot
Kacharowicz.
there. He actually bounced off of Thress.
Very easily could have been whistled a foul, but he finishes through the contact instead. Coming back the other way. No foul called initially, but right there, Fitzhands.
That could have very easily been a foul on Kacharowicz.
And a beautiful feed from Linane to Kazarowicz. Knocks down the 2-point jumper, and John Carroll's lead back to 4 points, 48-44. Baker waiting for the offense to restart. Ball in the hands of Devin Allen. Looking inside, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Fitz hands with it as it gets down to the 5 area. Shot fake, now the pump, the 3 ball off the iron, no good. And the rebound down to Kacharowicz. Pressure applied now, Linane comes back the other way. Kacharowicz into the paint, loses it, but right into the hands of a teammate. 3 ball up and no good, and then the ball trickles out of bounds. Good hustle by Simon Kacharowicz, but he couldn't quite run it down, and it'll be ONU ball coming the other way with the line change out for John Carroll.
And Linane has gone cold here lately. He started the game, he couldn't miss.
So with 1:20 on the clock, the Polar Bears moving the ball ahead, trailing by 4. Bit of a mismatch with Berger being guarded by a post player. 1 minute left in the half. The jumper turnaround, no good. Rebound brought down by John Carroll. Pushing it up the other way is Vikanchik into the corner. The 3 ball is good, and that's the leading scorer right now for John Carroll.
And just like that, it's back up to 7.
And once again, Matthew Shuhan right in on all the action. Knocks down the triple, then turns around, knocks the ball out of bounds. 39.5 seconds to go in the half.
Pretty important here for the Polar Bears to come up with something on this possession.
Ball swung around the outside. 15 seconds between the game clock and shot clock. And underneath, the ball blocked as Thress tried to go underneath the rim to get the basket. And now John Carroll can play for the final shot.
That's something they don't normally do, is slow the pace down for a shot, but the clock dictates that right now. They're looking, forces one from the top of the key, and that's no good. So we're going to go down to Kyler right now. It's halftime. John Carroll leading the Polar Bears 51-44. Kyler's going to get a word with the Ohio Northern coach, and we'll turn it over to Kyler.
Coach, an exciting first half, but the John Carroll able to pull out there. What was that adjustment that you guys made that brought you right back into it?
Well, what we don't want to do is we don't want to get in a game when it's up and down the floor with these guys. That's what they want to do, and we got to do a better job on our transition defense. Get back and locate ball and locate our men. We kind of lost a couple assignments right there, and that hurt us. So we got to do a better job on our transition defense.
And how does that 5-and-5 substitutions that they do affect how your guys' energy works?
Now, we play like we play. We still will play about 8 or 9 guys ourselves, but we just got to make sure that when we get in, we know who's got whom, and we get our defensive assignments matched up.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Tyler, yep.
As a father of 2 teenage daughters and husband to a lovely wife, thanks, hun, it is important for me to look out for myself and my family. Fiber is one of the most important things in my day. Fiber keeps me healthy, sane, and stress-free. NKTelco Fiber, fast and reliable, keeping our household sane by keeping their devices connected.
NKTelco, providing services that bring value to your everyday life.
I did have fear, especially since my brother was a pharmacy major. Their courses are really tough. And then as I started in the engineering program, I quickly learned that not all the material was that easy, especially since I had no experience. But it was mainly just my hard work ethic and the professors wanting to interact with you constantly reaching out to try to help you, that kind of eased my mind a little bit.
Ohio Northern University has always had a strong relationship with the Village of Ada. Because of this, I was able to write a community EPA grant for a composting facility to better handle the food waste at both the university and the Village of Ada. Throughout my research, I identified multiple issues that are facing both the university and the Village of Ada. The main being the amount of food waste that's traveling to the wastewater treatment facility, entering their anaerobic digestion, which is causing for unnecessary maintenance of the anaerobic digestion. I'm thankful I was able to attend Ohio Northern University, where both the administrative staff and the professors support students in their passions in life. One of my biggest passions has always been how I can make the world a better place. And I believe that starting with food waste composting is just one small way that both the Village of Ada and the university can make the world a better place. Good?
Good. I like that. Love it. All right.
Take like 9.
Achieving a Hall of Fame status, it would just take the cake. It would be the greatest honor.
They put in rigorous hours to become not just a great student, but a great athlete, a great person, and obviously it's paid off.
You look at the wall and you see all these people that have done it before you, and that's what motivates me to keep going every day.
They have put ONU on a pedestal.
They have laid the foundation to what a great player should be like. I think that being inducted in the Hall of Fame shows that you were one of the best at your time while you played here at ONU.
Saying that you're gonna be inducted into the Hall of Fame, I don't know. I guess tears of joy would be a good word for it. A big adrenaline rush would probably bring me back to my college days, reminisce on a lot of memories that I've had. It would just put me on cloud 9, I guess.
Come back to ONU and see the polar bear family and everybody that's passed through here, and see that you've made an impact in what you've done.
Something you can only dream of. It's definitely something you have to work towards. You have to want from day one.
Something they should cherish and look back on and show to their kids. And if I was ever inducted, that I would cherish. So
being in the Hall of Fame is one of the greatest accomplishments you can achieve as an athlete here at ONU.
Everybody at ONU, we're just one big family, and we're all so proud of them.
To all the Hall of Fame inductees, you've achieved one of the greatest accomplishments that you can achieve as an athlete. I hope to be at your level one day. Congratulations, and good luck at the ceremony.
It's not often you get a chance to thank publicly someone who has provided something to this scale. It's a spectacular facility, and it's one of the best in college soccer. It's one of the best in track and field anywhere. A great day for us to be able to gather together and thank the Kirscher family for their generosity and their support of our sports.
Kirscher Stadium, home of Ohio Northern's men's and women's soccer team and men and women's outdoor track team, is now one of the finest soccer track stadiums in the nation. The stadium not only serves the university, but provides a first-rate facility for the entire West Central Ohio sports and recreation community. And we are very, very proud of that. And we thank Bob and Barb, because now the dream of a first-class soccer and track stadium is truly a reality. So please, everyone, join me in expressing our deep gratitude and sincere appreciation to the Kirschers for their generosity and their love of Ohio Northern. We thank you.
Better way to celebrate the opening of such a cool space than to have a bunch of really good food, sports on the TVs, and hang out with all your friends.
We had the privilege and exciting honor of being the focus group for this amazing new space.
And really what this came about is we had always wanted someplace on campus that students could hang out that would draw people to McIntosh Center. So what we did is we pulled together a bunch of student opinions, and we've been working on this concept for quite some time. And now that it's here, it is incredible to see in person.
We have been wanting this for a while, ever since I was a freshman and I'm a senior now. Now that it's here, it feels like it was all worth it, and we're so appreciative.
And I think what the best part is Gina and I aren't going to be on campus next year, but we've both talked about wanting to come back just to see this space again and to see it being used and to see students enjoying it so much. So I think it'll bring us back to campus too, because I really want to see people enjoying it for years to come.
And a huge goal of our administration was to raise school spirit. And what better way to do it than to have a place to hang out and grow in that school spirit? And now we're not going to be able to find a seat in here for weeks because it's going to be so packed.
Whenever I first got here, I was from a big city. I was from Pittsburgh, so it was a lot different whenever I first came into this small little town. For 4.5 hours, my mom actually tried to talk me out of it, and that was my 4.5 hour drive here was, don't go to Ada, don't go to Ohio Northern. It's a small town, but I got here, stepped out of the car, and walked onto campus, and I looked at her and I was like, this is it, this is home. So I, been here for 4 years. I have fallen in love with the town. It has so much charm. It's not what you expect it to be, but it's everything and more. And whenever you're at Ohio Northern, you have the faculty and the staff who just absolutely adore you and want to take care of you and help you be successful. They teach you to be leaders and entrepreneurs. They teach you to collaborate and to be innovative and just to never take no as an answer. So it's been a very exciting time here, and I don't think I would make any changes. I would definitely stay here, and if I could stay longer, I would. I don't think anyone would be okay with that.
Even though ONU is a small school, I've been able to see a lot of the world through the travels through the music department. Music is the universal language that draws us all together. Through my time at Ohio Northern, I've been able to travel with the music ensembles to Germany, England, Scotland, Wales, Italy, and Luxembourg. And sharing music with the different people there has been a really transformative experience about going to Ohio Northern. Before I was in college, I never thought that I would want to travel a lot, but once I started traveling, I just want to go everywhere now, so yeah.
Right now, as it stands, there's no criminal punishment for human trafficking of children for the purposes of adoption, and that's what I did my seminar paper on. And I was able to reach out to some people and give a proposed solution to the human trafficking in Cambodia. So it was something that I never would have thought myself to divulge in, but given the opportunity, I jumped in head first. I'm not sure where I will go after law school, but I know that ONU has paved the highway, and there's 8 different turns, and they've prepared me for whatever turn that I take.
Back to Ohio Northern University, where the Polar Bears trail the John Carroll Blue Streaks 51-44 at halftime. I'm Kyler Ludlow alongside Ron Cruz. Ron, why don't we look at some of the first half stats between these two teams?
Okay, for John Carroll, they were 17 of 30 from the field. Ohio Northern was 14 out of 33. From the three-point line, John Carroll 50%, 8 out of 16. ONU 7 out of 16. Free throw line, John Carroll a nice 9 of 11. And for the Polar Bears, 9 out of 14. Rebounding wise was even. We talked about that before the game. So far the Polar Bears are hanging tough on the rebounding end of it. Turnover wise, John Carroll 10 and Ohio Northern 9. So you got to look at the free throw percentage is a lot higher than John Carroll normally shoots, 81%, versus they normally shoot 66% from the foul line. And, you know, the 8 out of 16, the first 7 minutes, they were burning the nets from the three-point line. And they cooled off quite a bit there, probably in the last 8 or 9 minutes of that first half.
Matthew Sheeran leads all scorers. He's got 17 for John Carroll. David Lenane Jr. has 11. And Ohio Northern is led by Nate Berger, who has 16 points, 4 of 6 from the three-point line on the game. Ohio Northern ball to get us started here in the second half, and we're underway from Ohio Northern University. Quick handoff, dribble drive in, the nice pass and finish for Bruns. A beautiful feed and assist gets Ohio Northern on the board and cuts it to a 51-46 game.
That was a nice set play there coming out to start the second half.
Step back three is no good, but the foul going to be called. Joey Hurlis fouled the jump shooter, and David Lenane Jr. will shoot 3.
That's something you do not want to do, especially from the three-point line. Not much contact there, but enough to make him fall down.
First free throw goes off the iron, no good.
So if you're John Carroll, you got to be a little concerned that, you know, you shot so well there the first half, you got to carry that over. And a lot of times, you know, the back of your bubblegum card doesn't lie. You come back to earth a little bit and have an average game. And if they do that, that would be the second half, maybe not so good for them.
Lenane knocks down 2 of 3. Puts the lead back at 7 points at 53-46.
They score 51 points the first half. That's on pace for a 102 game.
Quick drive in, but now Swinging around back into the corner. The 3-ball up from Hurlis is good.
Yeah. That brings them back to within 4.
The triple makes it 53-49. The high arching layup is off the iron, no good, but the offensive rebound for Kacharowicz puts John Carroll up 55-49.
Yeah, you have a choice. You know, you front Kacharowicz, or do you play behind him? And if you front him, you know, you're going to end up with giving him offensive rebound.
30-second timeout for Ohio Northern gives us a chance to thank our sponsors for today's game. Stoli Insurance, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan, J&R Auto Repair Service, and Buckeye Ford. Our scoreboard sponsor today is the First National Bank. Think first. And our keys to the game brought to you by Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Salina, where the dealer makes the difference. And these games will be brought on replay on Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503 Sunday, December 18th at noon, and again December the 19th, that's Monday at 6 o'clock. You can also watch on demand at NKTelco.net. Out of the timeout, Polar Bears with it, trying to work it inside. The jump shot off the iron on the attempt is no good, and the ball brought down both by Kacharowicz and Baker, and they're going to call the jump ball, so ball and possession goes to John Carroll.
Once again, he come out of the timeout with a nice set play, but just wasn't executed.
And after the hustle by Bruns to go get the ball, he had his foot out of bounds, so John Carroll retains possession. Kacharowicz was going to back down against the 6'8 sophomore as he gets the ball in the inbounds, goes underneath the basket and drops it in for 2 points.
Kacharowicz got good moves underneath the basket. He knew right where he was with a right-hand reverse layup there.
He's got 13 points in the game now as ONU comes back the other way. Open for 3 and rattling it home is Connor Baker.
Polar Bears needed that one, get it back to 5. Was 4, then it goes to 8, now it's back to 5, so they need a stop here.
Baker enters into double digits as the quick pull-up is off the iron, no good, and Baker brings it down.
Didn't get the rubber rim that time like he did in the first half.
Off the screen, the 3-ball up and no good for Devin Allen. John Carroll bringing it back the other way. Trying to throw it underneath. It's stolen away by Fitzhands. John Carroll trying to play that transition deep, but the block called. The and one for Devin Allen.
That's one of the first times that the Polar Bears get a layup and they get fouled on the layup. The first half it was just reversed. John Carroll was blocking every layup, and Ohio Northern was fouling on every layup.
It was a good job by Devin Allen to get the contact, but not get the charge. We saw that a couple times in the first half for ONU. The free throw is good to convert the 3-point play, and it's now just a 2-point ball game. John Carroll has brought in their second wave of ball players. This is the group that
they run the weave.
Runs that weave to precision. The 3-ball up, off the iron, no good. Bruns with the rebound. Hurlis trying to push it the other way for the Polar Bears. It's a little handoff. Now Baker looking, swinging it around.
Looking for Bruns inside.
Nice little roll, but nothing there. Fadeaway jumper around and no good.
That's
rebound.
That's a tough shot there, falling away from the bucket.
Quick drive through the paint by Bedard, now swung around by John Carroll. Hesitation, thought of the 3, thought about it again.
He wants to put it up.
Sheeran leads all scorers with 17, but a nice job by Vakanchik to drop that one in the paint.
Oh, John Carroll, they're just very athletic.
And as Fitzhands trying to lead the break, he rifles one past his fellow front court mate Ryan Bruns and tosses it out of bounds for a turnover. 4-point John Carroll lead with just over 16 minutes to go. Spin into the paint, goes off the foot of Vakanchik, but now John Carroll resets. 10 on the shot clock. Bedard looking, wants a screen. He gets it, drives in with the right hand, hesitates. Now the left hand jumper, no good. Deep three ball, doesn't hit anything, comes up short. And a shot clock violation for the Polar Bears.
Nice job there on defense by the Polar Bears. Finished off by Bruns with a block. That's one of the few times, if not the only time, that John Carroll's run the shot clock down that low.
Now that 2-2-1 pressure
Oh.
back in the faces of ONU. And after a near turnover, Ohio Northern gets it back. The quick three is up, no good, but the offensive rebound and putback drops. Bruns.
A nice hustle there by Bruns.
Now 59-57, John Carroll coming back. The spin into the paint. Shot is no good, but fouled on the play as John Cirillo.
That's the third foul on Fitz's hands.
So we'll see Aaron Thress come back into the game for the Polar Bears as the first free throw is up and good.
And Thress had a really nice first half, defensively and offensively.
Cirillo shoots the second side of this two-shot penalty. It's down and good, and now we'll see Nate Berger return to the game. He takes Joey Hurlis' spot on the court. Berger, the leading Polar Bear in the scoring column in that first half, with 16.
And that's 3 above his average.
He's got the ball in his hands as he crosses midcourt. Trying to look underneath. Wide open for three. It's off the iron, no good for Devin Allen.
That would have been a big shot right there.
Quick three up the other way for John Carroll. Off the iron, no good. And we've got a foul called as Doug Caputo pushed off the back of Bruns and sends us back the other way.
And Ryan Bruns had the position there and got pushed on the way up.
61-57 the score as the 15-minute mark passes by. Ohio Northern continuing to try to go cross court, and it goes off the hands of Bruns and out of bounds. Turnover on that long pass. John Carroll gets it back.
That's the second time a long diagonal pass, and maybe Ryan wants to come and meet that ball a little bit to take away the steal.
Drive into the paint. Cut off, and then the ball thrown.
He was open.
Out of bounds.
He had it all the way, but he gave it up right away. He catches it and throws it right back out.
Vakanchik cut off, and now we've got a new 5 into the game for John Carroll. Ball inbounded to Devin Allen. He's got single pressure on it. 14.5 remaining in the second half, 61-57 the score. Trying the high-low, Bruns ball swatted away.
Right idea, just couldn't get it over the top of the 6'8" Kasarowitz.
Now a 3-ball attempt, off the iron, no good. Battled for, rebound brought down by Kacharowicz.
Boy, the Polar Bear just can't seem to get over the hump right now. They get close, and the ball doesn't fall at the right time.
That layup attempt goes out of bounds. John Carroll wanting that ball to be off of Bruns, but
Coach Moran would like to have an answer for that.
Instead, it's ONU ball. Nate Berger has the ball in his hands, trying to break the pressure, and he's fouled. Ryan Berger. 2 different spellings of that last name of Berger, but that leads us to our media timeout. ONU will get the ball when we come back. They trail by 4. John Carroll 61, Ohio Northern 57 on NKTelco Sports.
As a father of 2 teenage daughters and husband to a lovely wife, thanks, hun, it is important for me to look out for myself and my family. Fiber is one of the most important things in my day. Fiber keeps me healthy, sane, and stress-free. NKTelco Fiber, fast and reliable, keeping our household sane by keeping their devices connected.
NKTelco, providing services that bring value to your everyday life.
So if you would have told me that coming out of high school 6 years ago that I would be sitting on a national student board overlooking the chapters around the country for the National Community Pharmacists Association, that's something that never would have crossed my mind. I would have said you're crazy. But because of the opportunities and the help of a specific professor who she really pushed me and motivated me to want to become that well-rounded student involved in my profession as a student, I'm really looking forward to taking that involvement and kind of promoting it through my profession as I move from student to pharmacist.
It's Ohio Northern ball coming out of the media timeout. It's triggered in right in front of us here. Connor Baker will throw it in for ONU. The Polar Bears trailing 61-57. Had a good start to the second half. Cut the 7-point deficit down to just 4.
And they've held John Carroll to 10 points here so far in the second half.
Ball in the hands of Devin Allen, looking inside, nothing there. Picks up his dribble, trying to find a teammate. Gets it in the hands of Berger.
And Bruns and Jasarowitz are really going at it down low.
Bruns takes the deep 2-point jumper. It's no good, and up with it is Kacharowicz. Coming back, Kacharowicz has a lane. He gets the left-handed layup and rattles it around, and he's getting the better part of that matchup with Ryan Bruns so far.
Yeah, Bruns was lucky there. They could have called a foul on him.
And the shot clock was running the entire time there, so even before it was triggered in bounds. So we'll have the pause in the action, as only a couple of seconds should have been called off there. Now 28 put on. And the ball turned over on the inbounds play. Coming back, it's John Carroll, and right there, Kacharowicz finishes at the rim to put the Blue Streaks up 65-57.
Yeah, that was just too easy for the Blue Streaks.
Driving in, wild shot, no good. Then a foul on the floor. That one called on Tim Ludlow, his first of the game. It's an 8-point game. John Carroll leads.
Well, they looked for the high-low on the out-of-bounds play, but it wasn't there.
Behind the back move, long shot up. It's no good, but the offensive rebound. Now a 3-ball the other way. Still no good. And a foul called on the rebound as Simon Kacharowicz does a good job of keeping that ball high. He ends up getting fouled, and the third foul called on Ryan Bruns. John Carroll coming back with that 8-point lead. Dribble drive in, kick out, now the drive. Shot up, off the iron, no good. Bruns gets the rebound, trying to push it back the other way. Ball in the hands of Devin Allen. Nothing there. Berger over to Bruns. Ball tipped away. And what great hustle by Lenane Jr. But he ends up knocking it out of bounds. That'll give us a substitution for Ohio Northern as Joey Hurlis comes back into the game, as does Travis Fitzhand, who we haven't seen due to foul trouble in a little while. He's got 3 fouls in the game, but now he comes back in. And the ball tipped out of bounds again. John Carroll with that 2-2-1 full court pressure.
Now Ohio Northern wants to go to a 1-4 set here. This way they get it in to the side, and you might want to look for a longer pass, but you got a guy playing back and watching for the long pass.
They cross the timeline with 8 on the shot clock. Jumper blocked away. Kacharowicz forcing the things the other way, almost gets the offensive rebound and put back, but now it's Ohio Northern leading the fast break. Berger into the paint all the way, knifes his way through and gets the layup.
Nice piece of ball handling there by Berger.
Drive in, the layup up and good. Kacharowicz continues to put on a show here in the second half, now with 19 points.
Again, that's just too easy. He's had a couple baskets here in the second half. There's just been point-blank layups, uncontested.
Ball into the corner for Ohio Northern. 3 ball up and good. Connor Baker is waiting for the offense to develop, pulled up instead. It's his 15th point of the game.
Yeah, it looked like maybe, whoever gets going here first might have the advantage, but Polar Bears have been ice cold here in the second half.
Ball goes off the feet of John Carroll's Papich. Now coming back the other way. And a blocking foul called before the shot.
Here comes a new 5 for John Carroll. Run them in and run them out.
ONU will trigger the ball in underneath their own basket. With that aforementioned new 5 out on the court. For the Polar Bears, they're glad to see Simon Kacharowicz take a seat on the bench.
Yeah. He's a load out there.
Foul going to be whistled this time on John Cirillo. 6th team foul on John Carroll, and the 3rd on Cirillo. Looking underneath the steal.
Oh my.
Going to be called an offensive foul. Zarin Thress through the elbow to get that seal there.
Looked like he used his left arm there to help him seal, and that's what the referee from way back here saw. But a lot of times you get away with that.
And a quick foul again on Thress.
Yeah, he's picked up 2 quick fouls here in about 10 seconds.
Fortunately, he had 0 fouls in the first half, so just 2 for the center. John Carroll starts up the offense, moves it inside. Little jump fake, drive in, and as the spin went to the basket, Connor Baker reached around, is whistled for the foul. And after John Carroll, just 2 possessions ago, had twice as many fouls at 6-3 over ONU. Now we're tied up 6-all. The ball in the paint now kicked out to the left wing. Bedard resets the offense, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Hesitates, drives to the basket. Gets his opponent up in the air and finishes through the contact. Nate Berger fell for the pump fake, and Noah Bedard knocks it down.
John Carroll gets a big break there. That ball just found a way to get in the basket. You think a foul that hard, you foul so that you don't make the basket.
The free throw's no good, but the offensive board for John Carroll. That ball might have been blocked from behind on the putback attempt, but ONU comes away with it. 69-62 the score.
You dodged a bullet there. That could have been a 4-point play.
Ball in the hands of Joey Hurlis. He gets a screen to his left. Perfect
nice
roll.
Pass.
Finish goes off the iron, no good. John Carroll coming back the other way, leading that fast break. Bedard back into the hands of Shuhan, and after being on fire in the first half, he's a little bit off, but a great hustle play down in the corner.
Yeah, he was 4 out of 5 from the three-point line in the first half. And Ohio Northern's doing a better job guarding the three, probably, I would say, from the middle of the first half on.
Antonio Vianchik will shoot the 1-and-1. Travis Fitzhands picked up his 4th foul. We'll see Alex Sibila into the game. Sibila saw a little bit of action in the first half. He played just around a minute, but with foul trouble, Fitzhands takes a seat. 9:47 left in the ball game. That one rattles around and falls through. Pushes the John Carroll lead out to 9. And a foul going to be whistled. I believe Shuran, sure enough, he was impeding Joey Hurlis's attempt at going to get the ball there. And Shuran, just his first foul, but so far away from the basket, he's going to go and send Ohio Northern to the line with a chance to get a couple points with the clock stopped. First end of that 1-and-1 is good. Hurlis, the 6-foot senior, has 6 points in the game. Make it 7 with the second free throw dropping. 71-64, John Carroll leads. Left-hand dribble. Up on top. Boyanchik passes off. Bedard's shot off the iron, no good. Rebound down to Thress.
Thress got over there a little bit late to stop the layup, but he did get the rebound.
Spin move into the paint, and Hurlis trying to find a teammate, ends up turning the ball over. John Carroll coming the other way. Spin into the paint, off the iron, no good, but the putback off of his own missed shot for Shuran, and that brings it right back to a 9-point game for John Carroll.
Yeah, nice strong drive there, and then he puts up his own miss back in for a basket.
Hurlis loses control of it, but gets it back. He's got 2 guys on him, finds Berger wide open, and he knocks it down.
That's the guy you want to look for.
21 points for Nate Berger. Thought about it once, then the three-pointer went up for John Carroll, and ONU gets the rebound, pushing it back the other way. The left-hand scoop.
Drive, and one.
Bedard had raced back defensively, but by the time he got there, his body caused the foul. Joey Hurlis will head to the line to shoot one more. That's just kind of been the way this game has gone, Ron, that we've seen John Carroll edge out, get to double digits or 9 points. But ONU comes storming right back. They just haven't been able to get over the hump. They've come back multiple times in this game.
They get it down to 2, 3, 4, and one time 1. And they just need that basket, I think. And once they get that big basket, get them over the hump, I think they're going to be all right.
The free throw rattles around and drops. So now a 3-point game as Joey Hurlis scores his 10th point of the contest.
And the tempo right now is, you know,
easy layup for Papich.
It's more on the Ohio Northern side than it is John Carroll. They came out really smoking that first half.
Papich with another nice play after making the layup to push the John Carroll lead back to 5. He knocks the ball out of bounds. Ohio Northern will toss in.
John Carroll's not getting near as many layup opportunities as they were in the first half.
3-ball up for Berger. It's good. 24 points now as Nate Berger, the Dayton native, has been
like 5 out of 7 from the 3-point line now.
Left-hand drive in, the scoop up and good. for John Carroll's Brian Papich. Each time the Polar Bears strike, John Carroll has an answer. The Blue Streaks
There
lead
it
by
is.
4, and now a nice pass forward. A lot of contact.
There's
Good
another
job.
block opportunity for John Carroll. They were blocking those in the first half. Now they're getting there a little late.
Sabila with his first 2 points of the contest. Quick pull up off the back iron, no good. Rebound brought down by Berger. He'll pull up at the 3-point line, looking for a teammate. He's got it, Hurlis. Hurlis looking, nothing there.
Bruns
Now the
has it.
3 off the iron, no good. That was to give ONU the lead, but Bruns gets the rebound. Berger for 3, passes up. Hurlis off the iron, no good.
Nice
Bruns
job.
with the offensive board, and Ohio Northern has tied it up at 77.
Yeah, John Carroll never recovered. Bruns had the mismatch down there, and Kasarowicz never switched back.
John Carroll's head coach Mike Moran's going to call a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 77-77 our score between ONU and John Carroll on NKTelco.net.
Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan. Come in and enjoy the ultimate hibachi grill experience as our expert chefs prepare your dinner in front of you with style and flair. Enjoy our fresh selection of sushi, sashimi, and other succulent dishes. At Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan, we have a dish to satisfy any craving. Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan. Great food, great atmosphere, great experience. Located on Harding Highway across from the Holiday Inn. Come in, we're waiting for you.
At Four Seasons Drive-Thru, we offer weekly specials that are sure to satisfy all appetites. Monday through Thursday, come in to enjoy our daily lunch specials. Friday is our Get It Till It's Gone fish special. Friday and Saturday, grab a 16-inch 3-item pizza, 10 wings, and a 2-liter for just $20. Sunday, we also have a 3-piece chicken for $5 and a 16-piece for $20. Four Seasons Drive-Thru, great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Want more trucks for less bucks? Buckeye Ford is your truck headquarters. Work or play, we have the truck for you. F-150s, F-250s, F-350s, and F-450s. We know trucks, and you'll always get top dollar for your trade. Get the truck you need today for less bucks at Buckeye Ford and shop over 200 new Fords and tons of pre-owned cars and trucks 24/7 at BuckeyeFord.com. Remember, you'll find more trucks for less bucks at BuckeyeFord.com. More trucks, less bucks. BuckeyeFord.com.
Welcome back to Ohio Northern University, where the Polar Bears have come back, tied the game up at 77, all with the John Carroll University Blue Streaks. Both these teams came in with identical 3-4 records, 2-1 records in the Ohio Athletic Conference. John Carroll has had the lead for this entire game, but Ohio Northern has stormed back, tied the score up at 77 all.
Yeah, we mentioned Coach Benzman's in his first year here at Ohio Northern. Coach Moran is in, this is his 25th season for John Carroll.
Ball underneath, the hook shot, no good, but the foul called as Kacharowicz is fouled by Bruns. Going up with that hook shot, he'll get 2 chances. That's the 4th foul on Bruns. First free throw, way off the mark, no good.
So Coach Benzman's going to take Bruns out of the lineup here with 6:42 left.
Aaron Thress back into the game. Bruns having a much better second half than he had first half, so he had the basket that tied up the game. That free throw also off the mark, but the offensive board by Berger and putback gives John Carroll the 79-77 lead.
Yeah, you just hate to see that if you're a Polar Bear fan. On the foul shot, get a rebound putback.
Berger with it, the pass, shot fake. Now back into the hands of Berger, ball into the corner, shot fake, drive in, and no shot, but a chance to go to the free throw line.
I think that foul was on the outside, not on the inside. Number 11? No, 32. 32.
Connor Baker will head to the line to shoot the 1-and-1 as Ryan Berger whistled for the foul. First free throw is up and good. 79-78 the score.
So John Carroll's been held here to 28 points here in the second half.
Hurlis almost steals the inbound. It's brought back the other way and
off
off
his
of the foot of Lenane Jr. Out of bounds in Ohio Northern. Adding a little bit of pressure there. We'll get a chance to score tied 79-79. Nate Berger brings the ball up the court for the Polar Bears. Devin Allen driving with the left. Back in the hands of Berger. Berger with 24 points to lead all scores. Thress
nice
goes
move.
under the basket to give the Polar Bears the 81-79 lead.
Up and under and finish it with a reverse layup.
And
oh
then
my.
Just coming back the other way, Thress trying to get around.
It looks like they put up with a lot of contact here in this game, and there wasn't much there.
Kacharowicz will head to the free throw line and will shoot two. We saw Kacharowicz take 2 free throws just a moment ago and was 0 for 2 on them. He puts this one off the iron, no good. And we see our first 1-for-1 sub for John Carroll as Doug Caputo comes into the game, taking the place of Brian Papich.
Now, one thing we have to point out, Kasarowicz only shoots 37% from the foul line. So keep that in mind as we get closer to the end of the game. He would be a person, how would you say that?
Something like that.
It's hard enough to say without that.
81-80 the score. The Polar Bears trying to trigger up the offense. Get the ball floated up there. Nothing but net. Devin Allen drove in, pulled up, and gives the Polar Bears a 3-point lead.
There, that could be the shot right there. That put them over the hump, and we'll see what they can do with that.
Ball dribbled off the foot, but John Carroll able to recover. Coming back the other way, the pull up off the front iron, back iron, no good. Down with it is Berger. Leading the break the other way, and Kacharowicz.
He's there to put it down. He looked like a volleyball player on that one.
Spiked the Connor Baker layup attempt out of bounds.
You'd like to see him go up and control that block in that situation so they can get the ball, but he did the job of rejecting the shot, so give him credit for that.
83-80 the score. Ohio Northern leads with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second half. Berger with it in his hands, passes off to Allen. Allen with the defender in front of him, kicks out. It's in Baker's hands now. Baker with the left-hand drive into the paint. The shot up, off the iron, no good. Rebound battled for.
And it looked like Allen might have got him, but not the rest, but that's who they called it on.
Frass.
And Cirillo's lucky he didn't get called for elbowing down there, swinging his elbows wildly.
Well, Ron, you were right. It did look like that was Devin Allen's foul, but instead whistled on Thrass, and that is his 4th. That's big, even though only 4 points on the scoreboard. He's been a big presence underneath the basket defensively.
Yes, he has.
The first free throw for Cirillo is up and good. The junior now has 3 points on the game. Second chance is nothing but net as well. We're back to a 1-point game. ONU leads, 4.5 minutes to go in the contest.
So Dress has 4 and Bruns has 4. That's could play a big part in the ending.
Ball at the top of the key, Thrass over into the hands of Hurlis. Looking for a screen, now waiting for the offense to get triggered in. Hesitation, drive into the paint, the shot up, off the back iron and dropping down for Nate Berger.
Nice job out of Berger. He's having a really good second half here.
26 points for the junior. And now John Carroll trails by 3. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be Blue Streak ball.
Now we're going to see Bruns come back in the ball game, probably for Thress. Let's see how he can get along down there, because Horowitz is not in the game right now.
And Lenane comes back into the game as well. Noah Bedard takes a seat. 15 on the shot clock. 3-point Polar Bear lead.
Ryan just has to play solid defense down there. Rebound.
5 on the shot clock. Now down to 2. The
That's
pull-up way off the mark. The air ball comes up completely empty, so a shot clock violation. Second one of the half for John Carroll, and that's playing exactly into what Coach Bensman was saying. He wants to slow the game down, make them use the shot clock, and the more and more we see, the Polar Bears have been able to do that here in the second half.
Excellent job of defense there. They're playing a lot better half-court defense than they were in the first half. They're shutting down the threes that John Carroll's taken. Most of them have been wild ones.
The Polar Bears break the pressure. Now the ball in the hands of Nate Berger. Berger takes the screen from Bruns, tries to find him on the roll, but now swings the ball over to the right side. And as Allen was looking to Berger, Nate Berger looked like he was cutting towards the basket. Kind of an unforced turnover there, sends the ball out of bounds. Gives a freebie right back to John Carroll.
Yeah, you don't want to see it, but I'll tell you, the way they've been playing, you know, you're going to have one of those once in a while. Timing is everything. That would have been a good chance right there to make it a 2-possession game anyway. There's slight contact again with the same referee, or the same official called that as they did it a little bit ago on Thress. This time they...
Caputo called for that hooking with the arm again, and that gives the ball back to ONU, leading by 3 with 3:06.
They said he had both arms out that time, posting up.
Hurlis able to dribble through the pressure, crosses the timeline. Ball into the hands of Devin Allen.
There they got Bruns. Oop, now they switched back.
Bruns chucks over to the corner. On the drive, the pull up, the shot, no good, but the foul going to be called as Kacharowicz got a bit of the wrist of Connor Baker as he went up for that shot. That's just the first foul of the game on Simon Kacharowicz, who has got 20 points.
As much as he's been in the center of things.
The free throw for Baker is off the front iron and drops in. 18 points now for Baker, the 6'3" senior from right here in Ada. He's had a very good game. 4 of the 5 players on the floor for Ohio Northern right now are in double figures, and the only one who's not is starter Ryan Bruns, who has got 8.
Kacharowicz now has a double-double. He's got 20 points and 10 rebounds.
After Baker knocks down both free throws to give ONU a 5-point advantage, he takes a seat as Aaron Thress comes back into the game. Those 4 fouls that we talked about. Now a 5-point lead. John Carroll swings it over, 3-ball up and good.
Well, you don't want to see him get hot.
Matthew Shuran has been pretty quiet here in the second half. Knocks down that 3, a 30-second timeout for John Carroll. And that'll give us a chance to thank our sponsors yet again. Stolly Insurance, 4 Seasons Drive-Thru, Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan, J&R Auto Repair Service, and Buckeye Ford. Our scoreboard sponsor today, First National Bank, think first. And our keys to the game brought to you in the pregame was from Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Salida, where the dealer makes the difference. Ron, this game, we look back to those keys that we brought forth, and everything's played out very well right in front of us.
Yeah, you know, we talked about maybe John Carroll would have to protect from reading the back of their bubble gum card here. And sure enough, they come back to earth a little bit. And ONU, give them credit. They've played excellent defense, and their offense have picked up too. You're seeing Ohio Northern getting some layups this half, and John Carroll not getting as many.
Berger brings it across the timeline for Ohio Northern. He has 26 points in the game for the Polar Bears. The drive in, the kick out. Now another drive, the jumper in the paint, off the iron, no good. And once again, Kacharowicz pulls down the big rebound for John Carroll.
That was a nice move, just didn't go in.
87-85, the crossover, the reverse layup off the glass, spun perfectly by David Lenane Jr. And we're all tied up again with 2 minutes to go. Berger drives in with the left hand, pulls it back out, looking underneath. They get it to Bruns. Bruns back to Berger in the corner. Berger drives, and he walked with it.
Oh, boy.
He walked with it. The turnover gives the ball back to John Carroll with 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. Coming back into the game for the Polar Bears is Connor Baker.
Fresco's out with 4 fouls. We're going to protect him a little bit on the defensive end.
The Blue Streaks have 3 players in double figures, 2 with 20 or more points. Ball swung into the corner, looking underneath to Kacharowicz, now swinging around to the outside. Ball in the hands of Lenane. He drives in with the left. Beautiful feed and the foul. As Kacharowicz perfectly plays the pick and roll, gets the dunk, gives John Carroll the 89-87 lead. He'll go to the line to try to make it one more.
Yeah, nice job there, dribble penetration. And then a nice dish off to Kacharowicz, who throws the hammer down. Not much contact there, but it was still called.
They're trying to figure out who the foul was on.
The foul was on number 1. That's who they called it on.
Joey Hurlis was pointing to himself, whether it was him or Ryan Bruns.
It was definitely Hurlis that had got him with the body, maybe. Obviously, he's not going to try to block that shot.
The free throw around the iron, no good, so we'll keep it at a 2-point game.
See if they can find Berger someplace down here.
They've been guarding him tight here after he's gotten to that 26-point mark.
Try to get the back door.
Ball tossed underneath, stolen away by Lenane.
That ball's got to go up in the air to Bruns.
But Lenane turns it back over. So Ohio Northern keeps the ball, 50 seconds to go, trailing by 2. Berger, with a man guarding him, drives in with the left, behind the back to the right. And before the shot goes up, a timeout called from Ohio Northern's bench. And that's going to be a full timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. Ohio Northern trails by 2 with 45.5 seconds to go. You're watching NKTelco Sports.
As a father of 2 teenage daughters and husband to a lovely wife, thanks, hun, it is important for me to look out for myself and my family. Fiber is one of the most important things in my day. Fiber keeps me healthy, sane, and stress-free. NKTelco Fiber, fast and reliable, keeping our household sane by keeping their devices connected.
NKTelco, providing services that bring value to your everyday life.
J&R Auto Repair Service is a full-service preventative maintenance and automotive repair center. Family owned and operated, we perform high-quality, guaranteed service you can trust at a fair price. Trust J&R for all your automotive service needs.
Welcome back to Ohio Northern University, where the Polar Bears trailed John Carroll by 2, 89-87. It is Ohio Northern ball on the sideline. They've got 18 seconds on the shot clock, 45.5 on the game clock.
Both teams have 4 timeouts left, and they both have, they're in a double bonus situation for both teams.
Ball inbounded to Devin Allen. Started straight up, pick and roll, Drives in with the left hand, kicks out. Berger shot fake. He's left open, and it's good.
They had him and then ran away from him and left him wide open for that three. And he nailed it.
So 30.4 seconds on the game clock. That might be getting set a little bit higher there. As we watch the replay, the shot fake, the defense left him, and Berger, who now has 29 points in this game.
I don't know what this discussion is about. Maybe something with the shot clock right away. When that shot was taken, I saw the referee or the official at half court raise his hand. Both hands went up in the air. So maybe he was going to maybe the shot clock needed to.
Well, they set the game clock to 31.8 seconds, so they added just a little bit there.
Okay.
John Carroll with the ball, trailing by 1, and a 1 second difference between the game and shot clocks. The drive in, the jumper off the glass, no good. And the rebound down to Connor Baker, and he is fouled. He will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Big free throws here for Connor Baker, the senior from Ada.
And he goes to the line. He's at 65% for the season at the foul line. 13 out of 20.
In this game, however, 6 for 6.
Right.
Trying to make that lead more than a free throw right now. 90 to 89, the toss up, rattles around and out, no good. 21.1 seconds on the clock. 90-89 the score. Baker's second toss is good. It's a 2-point game.
Yeah, they definitely need some defense right here because a high pick and roll.
Lenane drives in with the right hand. It's stuffed away. And the ball tipped out of bounds after that block by Bruns.
Bruns says, I'll take a little bit of that.
We see the drive there, and boy, that was swatted away with authority.
12 seconds.
Sideline inbounds for John Carroll. But Aim loses his footing. Cut to the basket. The layup is good with 6.7 on the clock. Perfectly played by John Carroll. They tie it up at 91. And Shuran now with 24 points in the contest to lead the way for John Carroll.
That was a strong take right to the basket, and that, they couldn't foul.
So with a full timeout for John Carroll, we'll take a break as well. Bring you back to the action just a minute. Ohio Northern and John Carroll knotted at 91 with 6.7 seconds to go. John Carroll got the 2-point basket to tie it. Now going back the other way, the Polar Bears.
Well, we'll see what kind of a play Ohio Northern comes up with here.
Berger gets the ball on the inbounds. 4 seconds. 3, wide open underneath the leg. Bruns. And it's good. With 1 second remaining, Ohio Northern takes the lead. The beautiful feed. And Bruns underneath. What a way to hit double digits. His 10th points of the game. And the perfect play right underneath. 1 second remaining. And a full timeout for John Carroll.
Shades of North Carolina State against Houston.
Perfectly executed underneath by Ohio Northern to take a 93-91 lead. The Blue Streaks.
Oh, a nice find there by the Polar Bears. Berger He's looking for the basket, trying everything he could to get the shot off, and then he looks, and there's Bruins wide open underneath.
But Nate Berger with 29 points in the game, so you know why John Carroll was so keyed in on him at that three-point line, because he has been on fire here in both halves. But now the Blue Streaks coming out of the timeout. They've got a lot of their towers out on the court.
Obviously, you don't want to foul. We're going to see Bruins on the inbounds pass, so the ball has to be thrown high.
1 second on the clock, 93-91 the score. Running the baseline, and it's tipped.
The game. Nice job there by the Polar Bears. They can finish the game 93-91. A big win for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears against the John Carroll Blue Streaks. The Polar Bears finish the game on a high note with Berger making the big assist down the Bruins, who puts the ball in. The Polar Bears just hung around, and get the break they need at the end of the game. And that's what you're looking for. The Polar Bears are improving every time out. They're getting their offense down, and we're going to go to Kyler, who's going to have a word with Coach Bensman after this big win. So Coach Bensman's on his way to Kyler, and we'll turn it over to him.
Showed a lot of resiliency to come back in that second half, and just walk us through that last play that got the winning bucket.
Well, what we wanted to do is obviously would send a guy. We got a shooter in the corner, then we got a guy that's going to be running deep in the other corner. We have a brush screen with Brunsey, and then our good ball handler comes to the ball. Bruns releases and goes to the basket. It's his decision, Nate Berger, whether or not he's got what he's got, or if he draws a little help, then he can dish it to Ryan, and that's what we got.
Well, and talk about Nate's night tonight. 29 points, great
did he have that? I didn't even know if he had that. Yeah, we try to not pay attention who's got what. We just kind of want to do it as a team, Kyler, and that's kind of what our motto's been kind of lately, and that's kind of what we want to do. That's a well-coached team. Mike Moran's been around. This is his final season. That's a heck of a coach team, and I'm glad my kids kept their resilience because they keep platooning and coming at you.
Well, you had 5 guys in double figures there on the court at the end of the game. They played a whale of a game. Congratulations, Coach.
I appreciate it, Kyler. Thanks.
Now back to you, Ron.
Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan. Come in and enjoy the ultimate hibachi grill experience as our expert chefs prepare your dinner in front of you with style and flair. Enjoy our fresh selection of sushi, sashimi, and other succulent dishes. At Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan, we have a dish to satisfy any craving. Yamato East Steakhouse of Japan. Great food, great atmosphere, great experience. Located on Harding Highway across from the Holiday Inn. Come in, we're waiting for you.
At Four Seasons Drive-Thru, we offer weekly specials that are sure to satisfy all appetites. Monday through Thursday, come in to enjoy our daily lunch specials. Friday is our Get It Till It's Gone fish special. Friday and Saturday, grab a 16-inch 3-item pizza, 10 wings, and a 2-liter for just $20. Sunday, we also have a 3-piece chicken for $5 and a 16-piece for $20. Four Seasons Drive-Thru. Great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Want more trucks for less bucks? Buckeye Ford is your truck headquarters. Work or play, we have the truck for you. F-150s, F-250s, F-350s, and F-450s. We know trucks, and you'll always get top dollar for your trade. Get the truck you need today for less bucks at Buckeye Ford and shop over 200 new Fords and tons of pre-owned cars and trucks 24/7 at BuckeyeFord.com. Remember, you'll find more trucks for less bucks at BuckeyeFord.com. More trucks, less bucks. BuckeyeFord.com.
As a father of 2 teenage daughters and husband to a lovely wife, thanks, hun, it is important for me to look out for myself and my family. Fiber is one of the most important things in my day. Fiber keeps me healthy, sane, and stress-free. NKTelco Fiber, fast and reliable, keeping our household sane by keeping their devices connected.
NKTelco, providing services that bring value to your everyday life.
Welcome back to Ohio Northern University, where the Polar Bears pull off an exciting 93-91 victory over the John Carroll Blue Streaks. And Ron, we've got to look at our final statistics today.
Right, for John Carroll, 32 of 64 from the field. For Ohio Northern, 31 of 67. Three-point line, John Carroll was 9 of 23, and the Polar Bears were 13 out of 29. From the foul line, the Blue Streaks, 18 of 26 for the evening, and for the Polar Bears, 18 of 24. Rebound-wise, Ohio Northern stayed right with them. Matter of fact, they out-rebounded them by 1, 38 to 37. And turnover, John Carroll had 17 turnovers, while Ohio Northern had 16. And as we talked about at halftime, you know, John Carroll, they ended up with 91 points. That's just 2 points over their average. They had 51 at halftime. They were on a pace for 102, whereas Ohio Northern come out and they score 93 points today, and they average 78 points a game. So that's kind of the difference in the ball game. Ohio Northern responded with more offense than they normally have. And also, we looked at John Carroll. They shot 81% from the foul line the first half, and they end up shooting 69%. So they come back down to earth, and a lot of times those numbers don't lie when you see those. And, you know, people can have, teams can have good halves, but as a coach, you go in the locker room and you think, you know, they played better than what their numbers show. So maybe the second half they're going to come back down to earth a little bit, and that's exactly what John Carroll did. And give Ohio Northern a lot of credit. Their defense picked it up in the second half. Their transition defense was a lot better. They did not give up so many layups there in the second half, and Ohio Northern got a few in the second half, which was a big part of the ball game.
The Polar Bears moved to 4-4 overall in the season. They are 3-1 in the Ohio Athletic Conference. John Carroll falls to 3-5 and 2-2 in the OAC. ONU is back in action very soon, the 20th of December, when they take on Lynchburg, and then they take on Transylvania the next day, the 21st, as part of the Transylvania tournament. Man, what an exciting afternoon here for all of us at NKTelco Sports. It's been a pleasure bringing it to you for the guys in the van and John Quellhorst and Isaac Sell, and our camera crew, Janelle Bolheimer, Ian Bolheimer, and Bryce Hamrick, and Ron Cruz. I'm Kyler Ludlow. Thanks, everybody, for watching this afternoon. We'll see you again real soon.